I'm so bad at reading people's handles. Hi, everyone. Welcome to What Would Cynthia Do? My weekly career advice live show on LinkedIn and also streaming to Instagram. My name's Cynthia Pong. I'm a feminist career strategist who works with women of color to get us more money, power, and respect, which we deserve. So thank you everyone for joining us. If you're joining from the LinkedIn side, please say hello in the chat. I love to know who's here. And welcome to everyone on the IG side too. Thanks. If you want to join through the LinkedIn side, just hit the second link in my bio on my profile in IG and you will be rerouted to here. All right, so today I'm very excited about this topic because it's all about how an entrepreneurial mindset can and will transform your career, whether you're an entrepreneur or a business person or not. So it's a huge topic, but I'm going to dive into one aspect of it that I'm really excited about and I think is the most impactful for women of color and people of color and women. So we're going to get into that in a second, but hey, Lanice, I actually chose this. I chose this topic in part because I was like, oh, what do I think Lanice would want to hear about today? So I hope you like it. I don't know. It's a stab in the dark. As you know, we do intros on What Would Cynthia Do in a particular way. Name, pronouns, what you do. And I'm adjusting this because of last week's live. We talked about the importance of speaking for our work, of like self-advocacy through not just passively waiting for our work to speak for itself. And so I want you all to share a recent win. This, I feel like, was Viana's idea, but I'm not 100% sure. So share your win in the chat along with your name and pronouns, and I will give you one of these. You know you want an air horn, come on. Okay, so tell me in the chat, and over here too, feel free to participate. Yeah, so I told you about the new format. I am still going to remind everybody, you can tune in weekly Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern through whatwouldcynthiado.com. Permanent archive if you missed any of these episodes and you want to go into the past, time travel into the past and learn all these good things. We've talked about managing up. We've talked about how to speak for your work. So many things, career change, etc. Embracechange.nyc/resources will give you all the archives of these videos. And real quick, most of you regulars know I'm about to launch a crowdfunding campaign, my first one ever. I'm very, very, very excited about it. It is to raise capital to create a leadership accelerator for small cohorts of women of color. This is an area that is really near and dear to my heart. So I'm very much hoping to be able to raise my goal and be able to put 30 women through this leadership accelerator. So to hear about all the amazing crowdfunding campaign rewards that I've created for folks who contribute to the campaign, please drop your email at tinyurl.com, embrace change crowdfund. And it is the first link in my bio, I think, over on the IG side. Check it out. Hey, Laura, I'm actually in the same crowdfunding program as Laura, the Ladi page, who is here. Hey, let me try to wave at you. Yes, I did it. Okay, so Laura, tell everybody about your campaign so that they can also find out about it and support. Okay, so let me see who's in the chat here. I changed the banner at the wrong time. My bad. Back to intros. We've got Lanice, yay, Lucic. Oh my gosh, getting your second vaccination day. Oh my God. I'm so excited for you. And also, please take it easy after you get the shot. It was exhausting for me anyways. Hello, whoever this is. Thank you for joining. Hey, Tamara, also regular to the show. Welcome, welcome. I hope that you like today's topic too, because it's also thinking about you. Okay, so keep letting us know who you are. And a recent win. Come on, this is your time. I'm going to give you an air horn or applause for whoever shares on either side. Hey, Tita Jess, so excited to be working with you soon. Okay, so as you all keep doing your intros, we're going to go into the first segment of the day, which is, how are we doing? Yep, that was a long lead up, but how are we doing? Drop 2 words in the chat to let me know how you are doing today. Love to do a temperature check before we dive into the topic of the week. My 2 words are going to be sad and excited. Literally not even an hour ago, I heard from a neighbor of mine who's like one of my favorite neighbors, that his dad died. And I knew his dad too. And so it was like really sad to hear that. I mean, he lived a full life. He was 90. And also it's still just like always sad to hear that somebody like that, and like seeing in the neighborhood and stuff, You know, and like he was a really, really like gentle, kind soul. And anyway, will be missed. I'm getting a little emotional. So I'm feeling a little sad if that's fucking up my energy, like FYI. And also, I still am excited too because one, my crowdfunding campaign is about to launch, and two, I have 2 speaking engagements tomorrow, so I'm a little high energy, getting ready to prep for that. So if one of them is private, but one is public, if you want me to let you know what the public one is, if you care to join, I'm happy to share that with you. Tell me how you all are doing. Let's see. Lusic. Oh my God. Lusic's win. I love this. Lusic Gasparian, everyone. I had a really successful discussion on Thursday on disability accommodations on Clubhouse. Yes. Drop your Clubhouse, what's it called, handle, so everyone can follow you. I feel like you're on both sides, Lusic, so drop it here too. It was well attended and got many questions. I covered ADA and EEOC compliance by companies. Yeah, I can imagine there would be a ton of really good questions, and people need to know what are the accommodations that they can ask for, how can they actually advocate for themselves to get these from their employers. It's such an important topic, and that's why I'm so glad Lusic is out here doing the DEI work that she is. So thank you for sharing that win. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for sharing your name. Tamora, yes, we got another win. Okay, recent win. My boss wants to promote me to QA manager. Hello, and soon. I'm a QA auditor too, so that will be a big jump. I love to hear about a quantum leap, Tamora. Congratulations. That's freaking huge. So much excitement for you. All right. No, I can't stop this. There we go. Lenise, I'm a new business owner. Yes. Hello. Capital Back Office Solutions. Love the name. Human Resources and Virtual Assisting Service. My win, I posted another story about my business, IG. Introvert life is a struggle. Oh my God, I'm an introvert too. I love it. So I totally know what you mean. And also, if you don't know my good friend and colleague, Nairobi Melendez, might be worth connecting with her because you're both running your own badass HR companies, and maybe there's a chance to collab or something there. Nairobi is spelled Narobi, no I in there like the country name. Oh geez, Tamara, I'm sorry to hear about your uncle too. It's death continues, like life continues, I guess. It's not much of a consolation. It hurts every time. So I'm sorry for your loss too. Michelle's feeling a little insecure, unsure. Wow, can't read. Was let go last week from my director role. Oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear that. Please let us know here in the chat, like what kind of opportunities you're looking for, because I always encourage and want this space to be like a safe space for us to help each other, launch our careers wherever we want to go. And also, today's topic is going to be, I hate when I'm like that silver lining person who's like, oh, but this is still good about your shitty situation. No, like I don't want to be flippant about that, because sometimes shit just sucks. It's horrible and it's sad, and I don't want to take away from that, because we have to acknowledge that too. And also, I'm glad you're here for today's episode, because there may be some nuggets in there for you to help in your situation. Let me check in on this side. Everyone's doing good. Oh, great. Thank you, Lusic, for tagging Dear Asian Youth. We'll definitely check out later. And John and Simone, I'm not sure if that's Simone, who I think I know, but if it is, and even if it isn't, hello, welcome. Hi, Farfar45. Okay, so let me see what else is happening here. Thanks for dropping your handle, Lusic. A lot of condolences and support in the chat on the side. Thank you all. This is why I freaking love What Would Cynthia Do regulars. Like, you all are just the best. And everyone who's new too, like, welcome. You're in a very awesome space. I'm not saying that because of me. I'm saying that because of who all comes to this and how we all just show up for each other. It freaking melts my heart. Okay, so listen, let's keep processing. And also, I want to tell you what the topic of the week is. It is how an entrepreneurial mindset can get you out of a career rut. And I would say this too, if it's even sometimes like in your personal life too, because what is the personal and professional? Like it all bleeds together these days, especially. Like this can help you get out of any kind of down place. And so it's worth giving it a shot sometimes. I'm not saying it'll like always work or whatever, but it's definitely worth a try. So I'm going to talk about this for the next 10 to 15 minutes, as you all well know, but drop any questions or comments you have in the chat on either side, please. And I will circle back and talk about certain things. But right now I'm going to get into the entrepreneurial mindset and its benefits. Okay. So I already mentioned this a little bit earlier, but I was thinking like, what can I do for my entrepreneurs who come to What Would Cynthia Do? Because I feel like we've been talking about a lot of things that are pretty specific to like being employed in an organization. And I don't want you all, entrepreneurial folks and entrepreneurs, to like feel neglected. So I thought about this yesterday. So this one goes out to like Lanice, oh, Simone, hey, thanks for moving over. And Prev, thank you for sharing your condolences too, and welcome. It's always great to see you. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, Viana, Lucic, Lanice, Prev too, now that you're here. And I think there's other folks who have either entrepreneurial aspects to their work or like are straight up business owners who join. And so this one is really for you. I will say though that it has a special application for people who work within an organization as well. So really it's for everybody in a way, but like the way I thought about this topic of like how an entrepreneurial mindset can get you out of a career route was because I had you all in mind. So let's start with what the hell even is an entrepreneurial mindset, right? What does that even mean? So I looked up a bunch of definitions. I thought about what it means to me. And my favorite is this. It is also, let me know in the chat, have you ever even heard of this before? Like, had you heard of an entrepreneurial mindset before today? Let me know, both sides. Hey, Designs by KBE. Hey, AON. Great to see you. Intro yourself in the chat, please. Plumtree Money. I want everybody to know about all the services you offer. Anyway, so my favorite definition of an entrepreneurial mindset is a specific set of beliefs, knowledge, and thought processes that drives entrepreneurial behavior. So then the question is, well, what the hell is entrepreneurial behavior, right? So for that, I feel like, and this was the best kind of definition I cobbled together, it's anything that has to do with innovative problem solving, finding creative solutions, thinking about your organization as if you were running it, even if you aren't. So that type of mindset is what I'm talking about here. And like to give you some examples, it can encompass a bunch of things. I'm going to only talk about 3 though, so it doesn't get like too overwhelming or whatever. And I'm really going to focus on like 1. But 1, an entrepreneurial mindset encompasses a belief in your own ability to shape your future. I'm going to say that one again because it's a big one. And I feel like it's a struggle for a lot of my clients and people I know, people of color I know, when bad shit is happening. So it's a belief in your ability to shape your future. A lot of times, because we live in white supremacy, we live in a very racist, oppressive culture within like microcosmic cultures within organizations too. It's easy to feel completely like disempowered. Like nothing I do is going to matter. Nothing I do is going to change the white supremacy culture I work in. This is all pointless. It's horrible and it's never going to end. Like that type of catastrophic thinking, maybe not to quite that extent, but like it is common among a lot of my clients, myself sometimes, and people like friends and people I know too. So this first piece of the entrepreneurial mindset, a belief in the ability, in your own ability to shape your future, I think is crucial to remember. That, well, let me not get ahead of myself. So another one that I wanted to highlight to you all is resilience and resourcefulness, which is something that honestly I find women of color have in droves, like so much resilience, so much resourcefulness, right? And then the third one, knowing that there's value in solving problems for others and for your community. I mean, this one hands down, women of color have it like coming out the ears, you know, we're always thinking about how to solve problems for other people, for our immediate family, for our extended family, for our community, for our block, for our team, for our work, for our mission, right? So let me know in the chat if you can relate to that at all, or if I'm like totally on a different planet here. So anyway, what I'm trying, my kind of thesis, like whatever for today is like, an entrepreneurial mindset can actually transform your career, especially if you work within an organization, and like definitely if you are an entrepreneur, because otherwise, I mean, it's just going to be challenging. So when you are feeling these kind of things like, my God, everything sucks, it's awful, like, you know, I know somebody on the LinkedIn side like is currently feeling, you know, not, wow, let me get my words right, like being let go from a job, applying to a job you really liked and not getting it, like these type of disappointments can really throw oneself off. And I mean, I'll just say for me, like even early this morning, I got a piece of disappointing news, which is that like I thought I was going to get this particular speaking engagement gig, and like, you know, had sent them the contract and everything and just found out like it's not happening. It was going to be like a big opportunity for me. So like that was like, you know, sort of thought it was going to happen and it wasn't. But actually nowadays, because I do feel like I've adopted this entrepreneurial mindset, it doesn't really, it's like a few seconds I feel that way, and then I'm moving on to the next thing. So it's allowed me to process this type of hit and take the L faster and then get back up faster. And that's why I wanted to share this with you, really. But anyway, so when you're feeling like stuff's really shitty, this is so bad, like my situation sucks, I don't know what to do, there's nothing I can do, it's going to never end, that type of thing, an entrepreneurial mindset is going to get you out of that, because it forces you to like confront the reality that you're in. And I'm going to give you like a script of how you can self-talk yourself back on the right track here. You confront reality faster, and then you get to a place where you're like, okay, well, what can I still do though? Right? Like, yeah, all this external stuff is shitty right now, and still there's something I can still do, right? And that might be checking out for a while. It might be taking a rest. It might be taking a nap. It might be going for a walk. It might be talking to your friend. Like it could be any of those things too. But there's still stuff that's within your control that you can use to shape your reality. Let me check over here on the IG side. Hey, everybody. Hey, Yari Heart and Soul. I wanted to say Soleil, but I don't know which one it is. Hey, Haley. Galleria, thanks for letting me butcher the handles. I'm so bad at saying them. And let me see what's happening on the LinkedIn side. Lenise, I think the belief is there, but sometimes the challenge is the action actually tapping in. That's the harder part. 100,000%. Oh my God, you hit the nail right on the head with this. And so what I usually recommend for clients is like, you know, yeah, the challenge is like taking the action, but actually the more that you just like force yourself to like say the belief, like even if you don't believe it, as long as you keep saying that to yourself, you know, you might feel hokey, you might be like, yeah, whatever, roll your eyes at yourself. But if you keep saying it, then eventually actually you can retrain and sort of reroute the thought process in your head so that you do get to that action place earlier. Lucic says, we're like ants, we can carry 50 times our weight. Yes, and I think that's a comment about the women of color and women just like always solving problems for others, doing for others, that resilience and resourcefulness. And also like, yeah, sometimes we do need help too. So thank you for that one, Lucic. So what I'm going to do now is give you a little like 3-phrase sort of script that you can say to yourself when you're in that like sad trombone place, to try to decrease, like short circuit a little bit the pathway, so that yes, you do process the disappointment, the feeling of being in a rut, the feeling of being stuck, the confusion, etc. But you truncate it for yourself, and then you're back up on your feet, like moving in a healthy way, faster. And I'm not saying like don't process, right? Because if you bottle stuff up, it's just going to come back at you later. But to get you processing faster and then like onward. So this is what it is, my little script. I recognize that my situation sucks right now. It's number one. Got to acknowledge and confront this reality. This sucks. Yet this is a situation in which I find myself. And there's an asterisk on this one because I actually got that from this podcast that you all heard me talking about last week, the week before, I forget. My new obsession is Nicole Byer. I I'm freaking obsessed with everything Nicole Byer. And so I've been listening to one of her 4, are you kidding me? She has 4 podcasts. So one of them is called Why Won't You Date Me? And one of the most recent episodes, she had somebody named Casey something or other, I think, on there as a guest. And they're both talking about how I think Casey's therapist gave her this one. Yet this is a situation in which I find myself. Or I guess they were saying like, this is a situation in which I find myself. So that's like, they were talking about like, Nicole had like fallen down some stairs and broken her ankle, or like something really embarrassing had happened, or something publicly like humiliating had happened. And so they use this phrase like when bad shit happens to be like, this is a situation in which I find myself, because it's not putting blame on anyone. It's not like self-punishing. It's not accusing yourself or anyone else of like doing something bad. So it takes that blame and judgment out. And then it also is just like gets you to a point of acceptance faster is what they were saying. So I inserted this one, number 2. So I recognize that my situation sucks right now, number 1. Number 2, yep, this is the situation in which I find myself. And then number 3, this is the important part that Lenice was saying was the most challenging. What's one thing I can do to reclaim power over my circumstances? What is one thing I can do to reclaim power over my circumstances? Hey, Nika. Hey, art activist. So those are the 3 things that I want you to say to yourself when you are, feeling like you're in a rut, disappointed, upset, sad over like something that's happening in your career. And it could have been happening like over the long term too. It might not be like an immediate like bad thing, but like it might just be like, I've been fucking looking for jobs for 15 months, like it could also be that. So adopting this one aspect of an entrepreneurial mindset, the belief that you can still shape your reality, even though you feel like it's just been hits coming at you, is crucial. It's a first step to getting yourself out there and then like taking this action that's actually going to move the needle and like maybe point you in a slightly different direction in your career. So let me know what your questions are, what your thoughts are. Like, do you think have you heard of this before? Do you think it'll work? Do you think it's bullshit? Like, tell me whatever. Let's talk about it. But like, I also will share a couple of like examples of how it's transformed stuff for my clients. And then one thing I will say too, to Lenice's point, I know this is a little circuitous, but like I said earlier, that one thing that you decide to do, it could be to stop, to rest, to take an L, to schedule a vacation, so you have something to look forward to. There's nothing so small or like insignificant that doesn't count. It could be any of these things. The key is like knowing what you need in that moment and then like making that conscious thought process to be like, name the shittiness, make a conscious decision to actually do something about it. And then trick yourself kind of into like starting to do that thing. That's the first step, I feel like, towards bending the arc of your career any which way when you're feeling like negative about stuff. So let me share a couple of ways that this has helped my clients, and let me know your thoughts and questions either side. Hey, Nika. Let me know if this is helpful. If you have questions, happy to repeat from before. Okay, so when I look at like past hard-won successes that my clients have had, especially the ones who have come to me in this place where they feel like there's nothing I can do. Like, I work in this place, my boss will never change. Like, he's always been, this fill in the blank. Like, nothing I do is ever going to affect that, and I'm just stuck. Like, there's nothing I can do. Folks who come to me like that, super burnt out, discouraged, disempowered, and then they get to a place of like successes, it's because that pivot point of like adopting this piece of the entrepreneurial mindset happened. So for example, I had one client who had a super micromanaging boss, made her feel totally demoralized and powerless about her work and her career, right? Just couldn't get out from under this person who seemed to be like always up in their business and always cutting them down, always blocking them. She was able to adopt a proactive approach to rekindle her network, like get back in touch with people that she knew and stuff. And then ultimately that landed her 2 executive level job offers in short succession, like one and then another one. So the point at which she was able to be like, yeah, this situation sucks. And I am like, this is a situation in which I find myself. And yet there is something I can do. And that is to reach out to people I've known in the past And like that also had positive byproducts, right? Because when she reached out to people she knew in the past, they were all really supportive and great people. So it was like an active reminder to her of like how great she is, how much great work she's done in the past, how much people love her and support her and want her to actually achieve success in her career. And so then that, like the networking stuff, led her to 2 job offers. She was like snapped up like very fast. So that's one. Hey, art activist, I'm so glad this is helpful because yeah, it's good for transitioning jobs. That can feel so discouraging sometimes because you don't know what's happening, the whole fog of like confusion of where am I going? Will this ever work out? Like all that unknown on top of, by the way, like the unknowns that we're still in 16 months into a pandemic, right? It's just a lot. So try to anchor yourself and experiment compassionately with yourself about like, can you try this one little adjustment? Does that help you get moving faster in a direction that helps you reclaim control over your career? Okay, number 2 example of success, and I want to hear your wins too in the chat. I'll happily give you an air horn or some applause. I had another client who was trying to get out of a toxic workplace, and she ultimately made a very smooth exit. Like she was feeling very down about it. Like there's no way, like I just have to stay here like for the health insurance, and like there's no way I can leave. I'm about to get married. There's no way, right? But she ended up making a really smooth transition out of this toxic workplace because she had previously hedged her bets. So she was doing different side hustles, like part-time work with different organizations all along to supplement the income, and also because she's like a multi-talented, like creative person. And because of that, that's her exercising like control over her career, right? And hedging her bets, being super entrepreneurial. One of those side hustles, once they got wind of her like trying to transition out of the full-time, was like, can we hire you? Created a job for her, made up a whole brand new job description specifically for her, and like negotiated with her to make it work. So like you can't ask for anything better than that, I feel like, in a lot of ways. And that worked because she was able to shore up this belief that she could take control over this a bit. And the third example I'll give you is I had a client who lost all hope in finding fulfilling work for herself. You may be hearing some themes here, right? And then realized that that doesn't define me. That's like not the core of me. It's actually my burnout talking right now. And then prioritized burnout recovery. So that's the rest. Taking time out, maybe emotionally distancing yourself from your work a little bit. Very important for those of us who do work that involves a lot of emotional labor, social justice work, mission-driven work, right? So she prioritized burnout recovery, and that gave her exactly what she needed in order to then like become a recognized leader in her field, like outside of her org. That was somewhat problematic and stuff. So hopefully these examples give you a little bit of hope that this could also help transform whatever difficult situation you're in. And over here, oh, hey, Judalyn, Yari Heart and Soul, I'm so glad to know this is so helpful in between jobs as well. So glad you tuned. So glad to have you. I'm going to play a little welcome applause for all of us new folks joining on the IG side. And yeah, like we're always in a career transition, even if you feel like you're in a job that's like stable and all this stuff. Like the truth is we're always moving and evolving. Things around us are always moving and evolving. So it's always your career transition. And so the sooner you really adopt and internalize this type of thinking, the more it will help you again and again, because you'll get better and faster at going right to that place when you're in the sad trombone place, to move forward. And Lanice brings up a great point. Sharing your feelings step helps. It can be hard to verbalize, but bringing the issue and the solution to light makes you responsible for taking the action. Oh my gosh, this is so good. I'm going to say it again. It can be hard to verbalize, but bringing the issue and the solution to light really makes you responsible for taking action. Accountability isn't really for the hearer, it's for the doer. Oh my God. Okay. I mean, air horn for that. That was incredible. So good. And thank you for sharing that, Lanice. And hello, anyone who's looking for HR support, Lanice is here for all of us. And so, yeah, like, let me go back for a second to that 3-part script for anyone who joined late. Like what Lanice is talking about is it's important to go through all 3 of these steps. I recognize that my situation sucks right now. yet this is a situation in which I find myself. Acceptance. 3, what's one thing I can do to reclaim power over my circumstances? And if you say it to someone else, you know, like they may or may not come back to you to make sure that you do that, right? But you speaking it out adds accountability for you as the doer to then feel invested in making that step. It feels so insignificant and yet it's so powerful. So listen, if any of you, either side, want to put in the chat, what is one thing you want to do to reclaim power in your career, please do that. You know, that's gonna give you a leg up in you actually executing on that. So I want to see those things in the chat. What's one thing you can do to reclaim power over the circumstances in your career, whether in a rut or not, doesn't matter. At any point, there can be that. One thing I'll say, you know, to get the ball rolling is like, one thing I can do to reclaim power is, you know, push myself a little more in like telling people about my crowdfunding campaign. I know I've been very vocal with all of you about it, but like sometimes when it gets down to people, that specific people that I know I need to one-on-one tell and reach them, I chicken out because of whatever, like fear of rejection, fear of all these things. And so that's what I'm gonna do is like be more accountable to myself to share that, because I know that doing that, remembering my mission and doing that is going to be very important. And I really care about my mission and I'm going to fucking make it happen. So like, I have to hold that tight. Let's see who else has something. Oh, Tamora agrees. That's great. Tamora, is there one thing that you want to put in the chat that you're going to do in the next, I don't know, week to reclaim power, like even more power in your career? Because like, this is all about using this entrepreneurial mindset to fast forward your career, right? Yes, we got one. Set my own timeline for my growth and not have my supervisor set my timeline for growth. I love that one. Giving you an air horn. That's fabulous. And that is exactly what I'm talking about. You are taking agency. You know, you're not letting other people decide for you. And even just this, actually, even just saying this, recognizing that you can set your timeline for growth, that in and of itself is part of the action too, I would say, sort of to what Lenise was saying earlier. So let me know, what are the one things that, well, what one thing are you going to do to reclaim control in your career? Hey, Judalyn, let me know on this side too if you like. I'm going to, we're pretty much at time, so I'm going to just wait for any last questions as I play us out with, I'm going to bring back the elevator music, y'all. Those of you who are early viewers, let's see, of the, can you hear that? Of What Would Cynthia Do? In the early days, we played a lot of elevator music because the whole idea was like creating a place for people to mingle and meet each other in a low-key way, in a safe space, because we were all stuck in our homes behind our screens. So hey, Bunny's World. All right, we are pretty much at time. I'll be back next week on May 26th, 2 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. IG folks, you can always join this way, or if you don't see me going live here, go to the second link in my bio and you'll be able to join that way through the interwebs. We might have a special guest. I'm not sure, trying to set that up. That'll be very exciting because I've never had a guest before on What Would Cynthia Do? So tell me if you want me to bring a special guest and hear from someone else. Put it on your calendar if you need a reminder, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, and tell your friends. They can join at whatwouldcynthiado.com. Yes, Tamora. I'm going to advocate more for myself like men do. Oh my God. I love that. I love that. And that is exactly what I think about all the time. It's like, yeah, what would, you know, an average white guy do? And then I'm like, okay, like, let me do this too. Yeah, I'll share my favorite example for this that I have posted on IG before. Thank you for the hearts over here. Bunny's World. So, you know, Tamora, Bunny's World over here on IG really liked what you said. This one post, and if I can find it on IG, I'll share it again today. But it's like, it says in there, it's like, I just found a YouTube that's called how to, oh my God, it's like how to open a zip file. And it has like 15,000 views or something like that. And then it's like, write your blog, girl, or something like that, you know, to be like, hello, there's a lot of really basic things out there. Like, we need your voice. You know, we need more voices of people of color, of women of color, of queer folks. Like, we need to be out here. So thank you for that, Tamora. And look on my IG. If I can find it, I'll share it. Prev, yes, not giving up on my vision for an entrepreneurial goal. Listen, we're gonna make this happen for you, and we're gonna jumpstart that business. So I'm glad that you're saying this out, and ask for support from friends. At the very least, asking for people to be sounding boards about career ideas. I love it. A lot of times we don't want to ask for help because we're like, oh, we don't want to burden so-and-so, don't want to be like, we're so conditioned to put everybody else first, but we really do have to ask for help and be able to receive it sometimes too. So thank you all for joining. I love all of your wins. Thank you, Lucy, for sharing that you're a DEI consultant and activist. Would love to connect with more activists. Everybody follow Lucic Gasparian _EI _consulting on IG. And I'm going to see you all next week. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for all your contributions. I'm going to play you our outro. Yes. It's always great to see you, and just thank you all so much. Again, condolences to everyone who's had a recent loss. I am right there with you. It's like a freaking hard time. And yeah, just thank you for being here and sharing space and being as awesome as you always are. And Lanice, you're gonna take us right out of here with actively making an exit plan from your current full-time position. Okay, one more. We're gonna help you to that, right? And remember, you said it yourself. You're saying this for not for the hearer, but for the doer, and that's you. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. I'll see you next week, maybe with a special guest. Thank you all for tuning in. Bye.